When you're young, you think you're invincible. But as the men on the Royal Flush found out on that day in 1944, all of that can change in the blink of an eye.
It was fairly calm going to Schweinfurt. Then when we turned to make the bomb run, I saw the flak they were using over Schweinfurt. The solid wall of black flag, and the group ahead of us flew into it, just disappeared like going into a heavy cloud bank. And I was wondering how you could fly through that, you know. But soon we were in it, and it wasn't as bad inside as it looked. Then we was calm all the way back then till we got to the navigator called that we were 10 minutes from the channel, and then they started firing 4 guns at us right about then. I stood there with my cheek against a warm electric gun sight and watched the artillery burst off of our wingtip. The red flash of the explosions on till one knocked the tip of a wing off. Then when the pilot got it back down and leveled off, the rest of the wing was getting on fire. And when we opened the bomb bay doors, I stepped out on a catwalk. The bomb bay doors was open, so I just put my arms around my trigger that you pull on the parachute so it wouldn't catch you nothing, and just stepped off the catwalk.
Even though Sergeant Haller made it out of the aircraft and all the way to the ground safely, his troubles were just beginning.
I walked across a pasture, and I just got in a patch of woods, and I heard people calling, and I looked back. 2 civilians were motioning frantically, if you remember, come back, hurry back. So I hurried back to where they were, and they were walking fast toward the house. I had to trot to keep up with them. About halfway to this house, the enemy soldiers started firing at us, and one around the house, there's a big haystack there with a hole in it down at the ground. And I crawled under that real fast, and they shoved straw back in the hole, and then just a matter of seconds I heard them out, the soldiers and the civilians talking. Then after a while it became quiet, and I found out later that they asked which way I went, and the civilians told them I went on down the road. That's the way they went, down the road looking for me.
After spending months in hiding and wondering whether he would ever make it home, Tech Sergeant Haller did make it back to the States and now lives well into his 90s. For Trenches to Foxholes, I'm Army Sergeant Jake Marlin.